Yo, what up, people? I'm Trackslaya, and today I'm going to be doing a quick breakdown from a new track, Sunset Drive. So when I first started making this track, I had West Coast in mind. You know, growing up, listening to those West Coast classics like The Chronic 2001 by Dr. Dre. I feel like that's a sound that really resonated and stuck with me to this day. So I definitely wanted to pay homage to that whole G-Funk era and that West Coast sound. So let's start off by looking at the drums, seeing what I did as far as processing and all that good stuff. So this is what the drum bus sounds like with the effects and everything on. So I started off with this kick as a foundation for the drum beat. Really basic pattern, really solid kick. It's got that punch, definitely. So I got most of these drums off of Battery by Native Instruments. Some of them were from Splice, and others were from drum kits that I've been collecting throughout the time. Here I have this snare sound and this clap sound. When you layer them together, this is what it sounds like. If y'all are not doing it now, definitely start layering up drums, stacking sounds. It's gonna help your drums hit harder. Here we have the hi-hats. As you guys can see, playing around with the velocity. And I'm also pushing them back a little bit behind. They're not on grid. And that gives it that human feel, that swing feel. I also have this live hi-hat that I got from Studio Drummer by Native Instruments. And that is hitting on every downbeat. I feel like that helps out with the swing as well. This is what it sounds together. Moving on to the percussive elements. You know, I was thinking West Coast, so I had to throw that triangle in there, which is a loop I got off of Splice and chopped it up to make my own pattern. And the flexitone. Y'all probably know this song off of GTA or classic West Coast songs. We got some crash cymbals, some reverse crash cymbals scattered around the track just to put more emphasis on transitions and whatnot. I added some drum fills here and there. I feel like the drum fills give it that human sound as well. Makes it sound like an actual drummer is playing. And once again, here's what everything sounds like together. Let's go over what I did on the drum bus. So I added some decapitator for distortion, really tight reverb, just a little bit, and some saturation from Sketch Cassette. Also some basic EQ and compression. After I had the drums laid down, I started messing around in my MIDI controller. I was thinking of an uplifting chord progression other than something obscure. So I started messing around with these chords. I don't know the chord names, but here they are. I'm using this VST called Lounge Lizard, which is my go-to for electric piano. It's got that classic Rhodes sound and a lot of good presets. After messing around, I decided to keep this. So to switch it up, I also added a halftime plugin by Cable Guys, just to switch it up in the verses. I feel like it gives a variety and it's not the same thing over and over again. I duplicated the channel and panned one to the left and the other one to the right just to get more stereo field and make the e-piano sound wider. So I went a little bit crazy with the processing, but I feel like it does make a difference. I added some filter to shave off some of those highs, EQ to get rid of some of those lows, added some compression, some chorus, echo boy, crystallizer, and J37, which is adding just a bit of saturation, not a lot. We added a little bit of vintage tape and a little bit of cassette saturation as well. Find that a little goes a long way. But yeah, this is what the keys sound without the effects. This is with the effects on. Now I'll play the keys along with the drums. So yeah, those are the keys, and let's move on to the bass. For the bass, I ended up using 3 different variations of a sound that I got off of Reactor by Native Instruments. So this is the main bass sound. I duplicated that and took out some of the lows and added guitar rig with a funky preset which has an auto filter, a very distinctive sound of that G-Funk era. Duplicated that, took off more of the lows and added some distortion and a stereo enhancer just to make it sound wider. So when I was listening back to the mix in my car, I noticed that I needed more low end, so I ended up adding a sub bass too. Just running that through some decap, some EQing, some compression, and this is what it all sounds together. Here's what the bass sounds with the rest of the elements. So now I had a solid foundation for the track and I needed a melody. I played these synth lines using my Korg mini log. I felt like this could be a cool intro, cool little synth line for the intro. Build suspense and it leads to that beat drop. Then I also played this counter melody, which is also a sound from the Korg mini log. I was thinking West Coast, Snoop, Dr. Dre, so I ended up playing this off top of my head. Then towards the outro, I started messing around again, just playing whatever came to mind, and these catchy melodies came about. For the processing, I ended up adding some filter freak just to shave off some of those high frequencies that I didn't want. Ended up adding some compression, some decapitator, some micro shift to enhance the stereo field, and also duplicated both channels and panned them right and left. Also added some delay and some reverb. Then I added some fresh air to give back some of those high frequencies. This plugin is free, by the way, so if you guys want to cop that, go for it. Finally, I added these glitch sounds that I got off of Splice, sprinkle it throughout the track just to add more emphasis on the transitions and whatnot. Now here's what the track sounds like with all the elements being played together. But yeah, that's how the track came about. If you guys mess with the content, let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys on the next beat breakdown. Peace.